Hi guys, we're going to continue our apple study with a new apple book. This book is called Apples by Gail Gibbons. We're going to learn some more details about apples, how they got to America, the country we live in, and maybe some new things that we could do with apples. Here we go. An apple is a fruit. It grows on an apple tree. Did we know that? Thumbs up or no? We didn't know that. We did know that. We talked about that last in our book. Apple trees grow in more parts of the world than any other fruit tree. They have been in existence for a long time. Did we know that? Yeah, we talked about that already, that they are one of the oldest fruits in the world. The first American colonists brought apple seeds and seedlings with them from England. England is a new country to us. It's on the other side of the ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, and that's where our forefathers, a lot of ours, came from. Some of them came from other countries, like over in Africa or over in Asia or down in Mexico. So there are all sorts of countries that bring traditions and yummy foods to America for us. As the colonists moved westward, they brought apple seeds and seedlings with them. Some settlers found that Native American Indians had already brought apple seeds west and had apple trees growing near their villages. Wow. See, they're sharing what they have with each other. Many times during the early 1800s, John Chapman traveled through the wilderness of Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Indiana, planting apple seeds. He also gave seeds and seedlings to the settlers there. He became known as Johnny Appleseed. So his name was John, but he loved apples and planting apple trees so much they gave him a nickname, Johnny Appleseed. That's something new that we can remember. Some apples are grown at home, but most are grown commercially. That means on a special farm designated for grocery stores. A group of apple trees is called an orchard. Each year, about 250 million bushels of apples are grown in the United States, and about 28 million bushels are grown in Canada. That's a whole lot of apples. An apple is a firm, crisp, fleshy fruit with a hard center called a core. The core has 5 seed chambers. So a chamber is like a little space where apple seeds can grow. And you know what? We're going to cut open an apple and we're going to count how many apple seeds are in there. Because you know what? Just because there's 5 little chambers doesn't mean that you're only going to get 5 seeds. Sometimes you can get more, sometimes you can get less. So we're going to do that little experiment later. In the springtime, flowers called apple blossoms begin to bloom on the apple trees. Each blossom has to be pollinated in order for an apple to grow. The blossoms are usually pollinated by insects or by the wind. And we talked about how those bees, they're actually a friend to the apples and to flowers. They help them grow. After a while, the blossoms begin to die and apples start to grow. Throughout the warm summer, the little apples grow bigger and bigger. During the late summer or early fall, the apples ripen. When the trees are loaded with ripe apples, it is harvest time. Workers pick the apples by hand. Some are shipped to stores. Some are used to make apple juice, apple cider, apple jelly, applesauce, and lots of other apple products. Some are sold in baskets at roadside stands. During the fall, it is fun to go apple picking. There are also country fairs. Awards can be given for the best looking apples, the best tasting apple pies, and the most delicious applesauce. There's also apple cider. During Halloween, caramel apples and candy apples appear, and some people bob for apples. When winter comes, the apple tree branches become bare. The trees will become dormant until next spring. That means they're sleeping. God puts all of the trees to sleep for that long winter, when the trees will awaken and produce a new crop of apples. There are thousands of varieties or kinds of apples, but they are nutritious and delicious. the end. Now, we talked about how some of them can be green or pink or yellow or mix of colors and shapes and flavors. And that is the end of our book today. I will see you next time.